Tozo zaye kazi mali wange wo zonge lamdun domze anjon duden bebe jinjen jenjo de jalazo dedan zamin gengo gebe moza Mejin dawe igi zadawe nagi mejin do jige
Vajradhara Bhadraka Manzu Shri Vagindra Sumati Jnana Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Om A Guru Vajradhara Bhadraka Manzu Shri Vagindra Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Om A Guru Vajradhara Bhadraka Manzu Shri Vagindra Sumati Jnana Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Oma A Guru Vajradhara Bhadraka Manzu Shri Vagindra Sumati Jnana Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Oma A Guru Vajradhara Bhadraka Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi Oma A Guru Vajradhara Bhadraka Manzu Shri Vagindra Sumati Jnana Shasana Dara Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi So just for your information, listeners in English, yesterday His Holiness has stopped the teaching at this verse, the end of this verse, which is on page 10 on my document. The person is not earth, not water, not fire, not wind, not space, not consciousness, and not all of them, but what else is a person. Shri Vakindra Sumati Jnana Shasanandara Samudra. This is the name mantra of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, with a long name, beginning with the foremost venerable Vajradhara, holder of diamond scepter. Manzu Shri is Jampel Ngawang Losan Yishi Tenzin Gatso. Yana Shasananda Samudash Ma Guru Vajradhara Sumati Jnana Shasananda Samudra Shri Bhadra Sarva Siddhi The Shri Vagindra Sumati Ganasha Sanadana Samudra Shri Badra Sarvasiddhi Sarvasiddhi Sumati Ganasha Sanadana So so shit the protector of the teaching and Dharma and beings on land of snows. No.
Zamlin Kungi Kurshi, Dugurong, Tenzi Jazu, Musowa, Kuzembe, Kangjin, Johnson, Sung Sanyang, Zamlin Yongla Jab,
Pray to His Holiness Dalai Lama as skull chakra. And so you were born in Tibet. And your speech, your teaching has spread all over the world, and your compassion encompasses all beings. We bow to you, Tenzin Gyatso, Your Holiness the Dalai
Yes.
They are debating on Tibetan grammar, the text and grammar that is believed to have been written by Thamisambhota, the first grammar book, which is called Sumchupa. Why is it called the 30 or 30 verses? It's because it is the first text that is written in Tibetan on Tibetan grammar. And there are 4 objects of praise in this text. To the 3 jewels, to the Lama, to Ishvara. So the first 2 verses are homage to the 3 jewels. I bow to the 3 jewels who possess the excellent, most excellent qualities. And then the second and the next 2 the next 2 lines is a praise to Manjushri. And then the next 2 lines are said to be praise or homage to Shiva, who is the originator of the basis of letters. And then the 4th homage is made to the Lama. What is the definition of letters or yige, akshar? It is the basis on which we compose names and words. And within this alphabet, we have the vowels, we have the vowels, and the alphabet, we have the consonants and vowels. So this is a debate whether R, the letter R, is a vowel or not. And these people are trying to prove that it is by quoting from Yangchen Tube Dorji, who has written a text on grammar, and also Shalu Lozawach, Lodu Chekyong. And Sajja Pandita also says that the letter R is a vowel. So if you don't accept R to be a vowel, to be a vowel, as Yangchen Drube Dorji says, so he's interpreting Yangchen Drube Dorji to say that if we accept 5 vowels, E, U, E, I, O, and R, then it's convenient, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to accept 5 vowels. So your answer was that it is convenient to have R as a vowel, because you said both the vowels and consonants have that the sound of R at the end. They're trying to say that R is a vowel because it is so this is this dedication prayers for the long life of His Holiness, and also for the development and cultivation of Bodhicitta. I bow to my Guru and Guardian, the ennobling, impeccable Manjushri, whose your intelligence clearly shines forth like the sun, free from the clouds. Homage to the perfection of Mother Wisdom, the mother of all Buddhas of the three times, which is beyond words, inconceivable, inexpressible, unproduced and unobstructed. It is nature, in the nature of space, the objective domain of the self-awareness wisdom. Then the verse of salutation from Abhisamaya Alamkara, ornament for realization through the knowledge of all the Shravakas. Seeking peace are led to true peace through the knowledge of the path. Those intending to benefit transmigrating beings fulfill the aims of the world. Being perfectly endowed with the omniscient mind, the Munis or sages, the Buddhas give various teachings with all kinds of aspects. I bow down to the mother of the Buddhas, together with the communities of hearers and bodhisattvas, and then the wisdom salutation verse from the middle way treatise called Wisdom. I prostrate to the perfect Buddha, the best of all teachers, who taught that that which arises through dependent relationship is without cessation, without arising, without annihilation, without permanence, without coming, without going, and without distinction, without identity, and peaceful, free from fabrications. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I visualize it as a Buddha filled and offer it to you. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure field. Idam Guru Ratna Mandal Kamniyatayami. Oh To the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, I seek refuge until I'm enlightened. Wherever merit and wisdom I gain through listening to the teaching, may I become through that, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. To the Dharma, to the Buddha Dharma and Supreme Assembly, I seek refuge until I'm enlightened. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. Whatever merit and wisdom I gain through listening to the teaching, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So today, though we are exiles, but everyone here, young and old, are taking interest in education. So here we had people, students debating, who debated which is an indication there of their constant interest in the study of in their education. So this debate is not something which is done by everyone. In the monastic institutions where they have study of philosophy and logic, they do this kind of debate. But here we have younger generations taking interest in debate, dialectical debate. So in Tibet, Buddhism, and particularly the Nalanda tradition, has spread, and we have the tradition of debate, which is Nalanda tradition. So inside Tibet also, in the monastic institutions like Sera, Depong, and so forth, they have the tradition of debate as part of their study curriculum, whereas the lay people didn't have this kind of means of pursuing their study of Buddhism. But after coming into exile, everyone, young and old, lay people in monastics, have started taking interest in debate, which is a very good practice. So Tibetan spirituality and culture is not just about preservation of it, but we are able to show it to the world at large. So right from the beginning of our traditional study, when we study, start with the collected topics, and then go on with the rest of the studies, which is very beneficial. So the students of the schools also are getting into the habit of using debate as part of their study curriculum, which is very good. So this is how we preserve and protect our spirituality, spiritual tradition, and culture. So you are all involved in this. So we are only few in number in exile, but this tradition of debate that we have So it can also be spread to China proper as well. We have to keep this in mind. And in the past, Chinese people have joined our monastic institutions. Very few of them were there in the past, but now, today, there is an increasing number of Chinese who take interest in the study of Buddhism. So we need to keep in mind how we could serve them and to spread this tradition in China proper. So though we are living in exile, but Tibetan heritage, its religion and culture has become something which the people world over have taken interest in. And so we are making a good stride in the spread of this tradition that we have inside Tibet, inside China. There is great increasing interest in people are increasingly taking more interest in the study of Buddha Dharma, and also in other parts of the world. It's the same. Therefore, it's very important for us to keep up with this tradition of debate, the dialectical debate, so we can become their role models. So it's not our tradition to show that our tradition is not only about prayers and rituals, but in-depth study of Buddhist philosophy through logical process and debate. So amongst us exiles, through this kind of debate, if we could keep up with our effort in preserving and promoting the Buddhist culture and tradition, we could help Chinese in China proper to also take up this tradition so that they can preserve the Dharma through both study and practice. So there is an indication, I think, that in China proper also people would take up this tradition of debate to study Buddhism and its philosophy. So with regard to that, we may be able to make contribution to the Chinese communities through our own example. So therefore, if we could expand this tradition of debate in the study of Buddhist philosophy and logic, it would be helpful and beneficial to them. And then there are people in other parts of the world where Buddhism didn't used to be a traditional religion. And therefore, if we could also try to spread this tradition of debate to them as well, it would be very beneficial. So this tradition that we are talking about has come from the Nalanda monastic institution of ancient India. So that people are able to also take interest in this tradition, and this is our responsibility to be able to contribute to the world through our spirituality and cultural tradition. And the debate that the children presented was very good. I appreciate it. In the past, Tibetans may not have appreciated this kind of school children debating. In the worst case scenario, people may even spit at the children for debating, but that's not happening. So this tradition of Buddhism that we have kept, is now being taught in the schools so that young children become accustomed to it. Yes. This is a blessing or grace for the tea. So the verse that was recited for this blessing was something like, your body, the white body, is immaculate, which is immaculate. You are adorned with the Buddha, the perfect Buddha, Amitabha, and you gaze at sentient beings with your compassionate eyes. Avalokiteshvara, I make this offering to you. Though I am quite old now, I've not lost even a single tooth. So I can chew on bread and things. Amongst the many different refugees, exiles in the world today, Tibetan seems to be the most successful people. And we have done our best to keep up with our tradition, heritage, and we should still feel determined to keep up with our spiritual and other traditions.
실은이 무슨 살로? 더 오메 디미 기조로.
So now to go through the text. If you are looking at the text, go look at page 10. At the end of page 10, there is this heading, emptiness of body and mind. Under the heading, further explanations of emptiness. Sorry.
배정한 춘주간에 말했지. 뭐시 그러도 서고요래. 그래서 가다가 쏘.
So, even as a child, I used to take lots of candies, but I have not lost even a single tooth till now. Therefore, I can bite on bread like this.
내 이름을 야 번들하고 내 직업을 얘기도 전에.
So I dreamt of Bodhicitta, Dharma protector goddess, sitting on my neck and prophesied to me that I would live to be 110. So I had this kind of very vivid dream. So just as it was prophesied in the dream, my physical condition also, from my physical condition, I can say that I may live to be 110 or so. The most important thing is to have a strong bond of spiritual bond between us, keeping our faith, our commitment, and the spiritual bond firm. So I generate right from the beginning of my day. As soon as I wake up, I pray for everyone. So therefore, you should, for everyone, particularly Tibetans, and therefore you should feel at ease. So as Nagarjuna says in his precious garland, just going up a little bit, the person is not earth, not water, not fire, not wind, not space, not consciousness. If not them all, what else is a person? And then further, with respect to the statement, I saw Lucky's body, seeing merely the external skin from among the many parts of the body, flesh, skin, bones, and so forth, and functions as seeing his body. Even if the body, blood bones and so forth are not seen. It does not mean that the body is not seen. To see a body, it is not necessary to see all the body, all of the body. Seeing even a small part can function as seeing the body. However, sometimes by the force of general custom, if a certain amount is not seen, if it cannot function as seeing of the body, as above. If the body is divided into its individual parts, legs, arms, and so on. So the body is made up of these different parts, like our legs, hands, torso, and so forth. But if you try to pinpoint the body, I mean, you will not be able to do that. Of course, the body is made up of all these different parts, the head, the legs, hands, torso, and so forth. So the body is a composite of all these parts that are put together, and therefore the composite of the different parts. On the basis of that, then we give the label body, and then we have a body. And then on a larger scale, the world is a composite of many different factors that have come together, on the basis of which we give the label, the world or the earth. So there is no earth apart from these different composite parts. And as in the Madhyamaka tradition it says that things are dependently designated. Whereas if you try to pinpoint a thing, you cannot do that without the parts. So we give certain label to things on the basis of its different parts coming together in a certain fashion, and then that functions as that thing, otherwise not. So through that labeling, designation, things conventionally work for us. So again, the person is neither the earth, water, nor fire, nor wind, nor space, nor consciousness. If not them all, what else is a person? So what is a person, if you are asked? A person is someone who is labeled on the basis of his or her mind and body components that have come together. So apart from the mind and body composite factors coming together and being labeled as a person, there is no person as such. So of course we have a sense of I am. And then together with that I am, you have also a notion of a self which is independent from the body and mind. But there is no such a self. So therefore it is important for us to understand what is taught in the classic texts. So of course you have to do this analysis into yourself. Where am I? Who am I? From your crown of your head down to the tip of your toes. Where is the person? Of course, when you try to dissect yourself into different parts, whether it's a body or the mind, you cannot find the person as such. But that doesn't mean the person does not exist. The person exists only by way of designation on the basis of the different parts, the different component factors that have come together. Therefore, it is important to understand, keep in mind the fact that the body, on the basis of the body and the mind coming together, you are labeled as a person, as this or that. So dependently designated nature of yourself. To understand that is very important. So whatever things appear to our mind, they appear as if they have some kind of a fixated entity or nature. But things do not exist that way. It is very clear that things do not have any essential existence in and of themselves. Take the example of myself. When I meditate on emptiness, of course, I do meditate on emptiness on a daily basis. So apart from being designated, dependently designated on the basis of the different parts, I am labeled. So what that helps is to understand that helps is to loosen that grip on yourself as if you are some kind of a concretely existing entity. So maybe I can say that much.
Oh yeah.
So today we are all delightfully gathered here. So I wish to do a Bodhisattva ceremony for Bodhisattva vows. So these are all the things that maybe we don't need to read through the text, the key to the middle way. It's not necessary to do the reading transmission of the text, the whole text. So His Holiness wishes to do the Bodhisattva vows. So Bodhisattva, bearing a good heart, warm-heartedness is very important for our happiness. It is the source of our happiness. So you should feel determined to practice compassion in order to help and serve sentient beings, and also feel determined to have the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as your witness, to make this determination to have a warm heart within yourself with which you would serve and benefit other sentient beings. So I do generate or cultivate good heart, warm-heartedness for the benefit of all sentient beings, and that is very helpful for my peace of mind, to bring peace within myself. And so that gives a relaxed state of mind, brings a relaxed state of mind, and that in turn is very helpful for my physical health as well. So naturally I feel peace within, peaceful mind within myself. And therefore, let's do this. So I'm like a spokesperson of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and imagine the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space before you. So, and then reflect that you are born in a place where the Buddha Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha, has spread and is alive. and also feel determined that I will generate this resolute, good heart for the benefit of all sentient beings, and also make this determination that I will be an example for the people around me to have a good heart, a warm heart. So, and then do your best. So as soon as I wake up, I think along these lines, in order to fulfill the aims of oneself and others, I shall generate the spirit of enlightenment. And so this gives me peaceful state of mind. It's like a tranquilizer. So when you have Bodhicitta, the spirit of enlightenment, you have a relaxed state of mind, calm state of mind, and that in turn balances the physical elements within myself, the different humors within myself, and therefore I can feel good physical health as well. So let us so I'll be like the chant master leading the ceremony for you. And you should imagine all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas sitting before you in the space. So I have this good determination to have a good heart for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly, and I do so to attain enlightened mind in order to fulfill the aims of myself and my others. I shall develop a supreme enlightened motive, and toward all sentient beings, my invited guests, I shall interact with supreme enlightened contact. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all negativities. I rejoice in the virtues of migrating beings. I hold with my mind in Buddha's enlightenment. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. I do so to attain enlightened mind in order to fulfill the aims of myself and others. I shall develop a supreme enlightened motive, and toward all sentient beings, my invited guests, I shall act with supreme enlightened conduct. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So we have done it 2 times. Let us recite it repeat it for the 3rd time, and make this determination and pledge that I will generate Bodhicitta for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all my negativities. I rejoice in the virtues of all beings. I hold with my mind a Buddha's enlightenment. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly, and do so to attain an enlightened mind in order to fulfill the aims of myself and others. I shall develop a supreme enlightened motive, and towards all sentient beings, my invited guests, I shall act with supreme enlightened conduct. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So with that, we are done with the Bodhicitta ceremony. So I do reflect on this Bodhicitta daily. This is the best kind of medicine or tranquilizer for peace, for bringing peace of mind. So, my Dharma friends, keep this Bodhicitta ceremony in your mind and Bodhicitta in your mind daily. And if you do certain ritual for Bodhisattva vow, Bodhicitta ceremony, then you should do by using these lines or others for cultivating Bodhicitta. May the precious sublime Bodhicitta arise where it has not yet been born. Where it has arisen, may it never decline, but increase more and more. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it to you. May all sentient beings enjoy the pure field. In the land encircled by fence of snow mountains, you are the source of all good and happiness. Gyatso, Lord Avalokiteshvara, may you live until the samsara, this vicious cycle of birth and death comes to an end. This is a prayer of true words by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. You whose glory is an ocean of immeasurable qualities, and you who look upon pure beings as if they were your only child, Sugatas of the past, present, future, Bodhisattvas and your disciples, pray heed these lamentations of truth. May the entire teaching of the Buddha, which dispel all the torments of existence and peace, spread to benefit the whole wide world with help and happiness. May those who hold them, scholars and practitioners, flourish in their practice of the 10 activities of the Dharma. Utterly oppressed by the intolerable intensity of their negative actions, deprived beings are tortured by interminable suffering, pacify their unbearable diseases, wars and famines, and bring them the succor of infinite joy and well-being. In particular, the people of Tibet, inheritors of the Dharma, are being destroyed by the many evils of the barbarian hordes. Malevolent and heartless, in a river of blood and tears, arouse the force of compassion, that their torment may swiftly be stopped. Those hosts of savage oppressors, cruelly crazed by their own demonic passions, who bring ruin on both others and themselves, deserve our compassion. May they develop a complete vision of right and wrong and appreciate the benefits of loving care and friendship. Since a long time ago, the wish most dear to my heart has been for all of Tibet to enjoy freedom in a natural combination of spiritual and secular spheres. Grant that I may soon have the fortune to take part in that celebration. And then at the end, may whatever is undertaken by those malevolent beings, be they visible or invisible, due to their perverse aspirations in the past, are hostile to the Buddha's teaching, be uprooted by the truth of the three jewels. For all those who undertook hundreds of hardships for the sake of the doctrine, those who hold it, the country, and their compatriots, sacrificing their cherished bodies, lives, and possessions, Lord of the Potala Buddhafield, protect them with your compassion. In short, Lord, Protector of Avalokiteshvara, in the presence of the conquerors and the Bodhisattvas, I pray, take under your care the Buddhafield of the land of snows, that the good results of the vast aspirations you have made right now may swiftly come about. By the profound dependent arising of the absolute nature, emptiness and appearance, the power of the three jewels, compassion, the strength of words of truth, and the infallible force of cause and effect, may these our aspirations to the truth be accomplished without any hindrance.
I have to keep eye on people like you, no? पता क्या करेंगे अगली बार ना, बात करके ना रस्सियाँ लगवा देनी वहाँ, ये बाहर ना, या फिर बंदे खड़े करने पड़ने रस्सियाँ।